Back, Mayor's Monday here at WSAU and WSAU.com. Things have certainly changed in the last month or so.
A lot of ways.
Lot,
Weather,
a
the
lot of
mall, a
ways.
whole lot of different
Yeah,
things going on.
absolutely, a lot of things going on. But the very first thing we want to talk about here, the budget. You've just about got her prepared. You've got public hearings coming up. Tell folks what they can expect in 2020.
Well, it was another decent budget, and I appreciate what our department heads and our finance director, numerous meetings going back and forth. Basically, do you really need this? That type of thing, and separating it, if you will. This is a need, this is a want, whatever. Uh, for the most part, per $100,000 home, you're going to be assessed at about $22. Now, every year that I've been in office, it's gone down a little bit. And last year, I believe it was like 27, 28. This year, it's down to 22. I know that first year it was up there, probably around 35, if I recall. But the good news is it has come down, and we've gotten a lot of stuff done as far as different projects, especially with the infrastructure that frankly was needed. We just can't keep putting this stuff off. And I've been putting this message out there for years now, and most people understand. You still got that bunch out there that think it should be for free, but we all use the roads, we all use water and sewage. It's just one of those things of living in a decent community. The good news is, after going back and forth a lot, and the city council has to approve it Tuesday night, but it's a very good budget, and it really solves a lot of things and issues that have been ongoing. This is another one that's been a good one. So, and I can't say enough to our staff as far as their work and their efforts in trying to find ways of saving money for the taxpayers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's going to be good news, especially for residents that not only pay the taxes but they pay the water bills as well. Because of course you're going to see a little bit of an increase on that
Right.
over the next couple of years. So you're kind of almost offsetting costs, if you will, right?
That's a way of looking at it. And again, it's going back to that infrastructure project. Everybody's known about this for some time, well over a year now, as far as our water utility and our sewage utility. Folks, it's as simple as this. Yes, there's been updates and modifications, but I've got a sewage facility going back to the 1930s. I have pipes that are over 100 years old. I have a water treatment plant going back to the 1950s. Roads, etc. This stuff has to be taken care of. And now is the time to do it. With the record 3 years of economic development and job growth that we've had here in Wausau, again, being recognized by the federal government as the best city and metro in Wisconsin last year for that. Our building permits and everything are up over 5 to 6%. We even beat out Madison and Milwaukee. But that, with that economic development and the money coming from that and the funding, along with really interest rates and borrowing capability is next to nothing. Our financial experts have said what you're doing is the right thing. It is the good thing. Nobody likes debt, but it's one of those things as far as a necessary evil, because this stuff does not last forever. And again, there's been a public process and media outlets and the city council, and it's been a long time thing. But even with those rates that are going to be going up, Wausau has been at the bottom of the spectrum in the state of Wisconsin for cities for years. Even with the new increases, even with the new technology and everything, not to mention state mandates from like the DNR, from the EPA, as far as different things we have to do in regards to our water and making sure it's clean and safe, etc. And that's not just Wausau, it's every city in Wisconsin. But it's just part of moving forward, addressing these issues, because it is a right and responsible thing to do. This stuff does not last forever. And I think most people understand that, hence the reason why we've been saying the same message now for a long time. It's got to be replaced, and most people get it.
Yeah. Anything else that might be a highlight in the budget? Maybe some funding or pieces of equipment for say police or fire in those departments.
Well, there's different things going. Public health and safety is foremost on everybody's mind. Every department is very important here. It's what makes the city work as well as it does. And public health and safety is always top. Respectfully, our police and fire departments are the ones that are the most costly, but there's a reason for it. Anything special? I don't know, nothing that really sticks out, so to speak. The biggest thing that we did, we worked with our health savings, because it was a tough year, just like in the private sector and other cities in Wisconsin. We always try to gauge as far as our health insurance and what it's going to cost. And when we had a meeting with our folks back in June and July, we were looking at a modest, probably 3 to 5% increase, at most maybe 6. And then we had a surprise about a month or so ago, as far as that it was going to be possibly up to 23%. We're not going to accept that. So we are changing carriers. It's a 3.5% increase. It was just one of those things that, we're facing the same issues that everybody else is. It was a cost-effective move, and we've got it locked in for 2 years. So health insurance for the city of Wausau will not be going up for 2020 and 2021. But it's just one of those things that, we're really kind of limited as far as the things that we can and cannot do because of the state levies, the budget levies. And, it's always a process. It can be at times difficult, and you got to make tough decisions. And to give department heads and the city council members credit, they have. Everybody wants their own special thing. I understand that, but sometimes the answer's got to be no. And the reason for it most of the time is due to budgetary issues. The thing is, the city's in excellent, safe shape all the way around. It's just part of life, folks.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned things like health insurance, and it's just one of those examples where what you do here on a daily basis sometimes is no different than what the businesses in the private sector do. So kind of, I guess for some that might be refreshing to hear about that you have to put up with those headaches as well as everything else.
It's everywhere, both in the private and the public sector. The private sector can do what they want. They have that right. The public sector, it's a little bit more tricky. And of course, we've always got those out there that, whatever, and they're entitled to their opinion. This is a good budget. It's the right budget to do. I believe it'll pass. Probably no questions or no issue, frankly, because the council and the decision makers are always part of the process and they're always updated. That's something we've really done religiously the last 3.5 years. It's just to let folks know what's going on, and just little things, the openness, communications, broadcasting everything live. We really haven't had any issues.
No surprises, you're saying?
No. There hasn't been the last couple of years, and I think most people realize that.
One of the other things I know you're going to be talking about Tuesday night is the regards to a proposed ordinance to possibly put
no loitering.
Some fines in place, yes, for no loitering, or some are calling it a homelessness bill, or ordinance, I guess you could say, for those that end up possibly staying in the city's parking garages. Talk about that a little bit and how that came about.
This is not a criminalization for those that are down on their luck. The city is not out there trying to be punitive or hurtful. From a legal standpoint, the police, this is an option for them, which they will not do. We're not going to be out there citing people for homelessness. I'm going to be very candid. I'm a little irritated, not the first time, with one or two members of the media that needlessly put stuff out there to sensationalize, and they don't put out the facts and the truth. Just the same. We're not out there to hurt anybody. It really is a public health and safety issue. We do have a problem with homelessness in Wausau. We've been trying to address it for a couple of years, and now there's some possible action that are going to be taking place. And in my position, it has to be brought for the city council to be discussed. If it is something that is crafted by somebody, be it a city council member, a department head, employee, even resident, we will bring it forward for discussion. And the Public Health and Safety Committee did approve this. But again, the city is trying to be a partner as far as trying to help folks that want to get help for themselves. But we do have some serious issues downtown that finally need to be addressed. We have people misbehaving in our stairwells. I know they're trying to get warm, but misbehaving in our stairwells, they are frightening people. They are scaring possible businesses from leaving Wausau because it's really become that serious. The nonprofits and the people that we have helping them in our community, it's a very loving, very caring community. And I don't want to make it sound about me, but I've been a member of these coalitions for a number of years since I have been mayor. My thing is, as far as trying to get everybody to sit down, and we are scheduled for some meetings coming up, the nonprofits, the stakeholders in the business community, and city staff, to try to find some solutions as far as helping some folks. Again, we are not out there trying to hurt anybody, but there does have to be some action taking place. This is not a criminalization or trying to be punitive to those that are down on their luck. I want it where people are treated respectfully and compassionately. And our police department has done an excellent job both past and they will be in the present, as far as dealing with folks in a respectful, compassionate manner. But we do have some issues where a lot of other citizens are being affected, be it with aggressive panhandling, be it with bad behavior in our parking structures. I don't want to make it all about legalities and everything, but this is our world today. Not that I think somebody would ever get hurt, but if somebody did get hurt in one of our parking structures, the city would be liable for it. And again, I want to stress this. This is not trying to hurt anybody or hurt somebody when they're already down on their luck. But there is a sense of accountability. It is a public safety. We want to try to make sure that we can get folks into facilities when it's cold. I realize a lot of these facilities are at capacity. And again, we've had a good working relationship for a number of years with these folks. And we will come together and find a way to try to find, even if it's just a temporary solution, as far as helping individuals that seek out that help.
Yeah, and so the way I understand it is you're putting this law on the books, as kind of a means of saying, look, we could fine you for this. I mean, it is right there. So
we don't have that option right now. Now, it's basically the police can ask them to move along because they are considered public structures or parks or whatever. And again, and I cannot stress this enough, we're not out there to hurt anybody. We're out there genuinely trying to help people. And that has been shown the last couple of years. And I know it's an issue that's kind of a hot topic. I would really respectfully ask residents and people, please take a look at the facts. Please look at the ordinance and the way it's crafted. Please look at the way that things have been done. Again, it's not out there to hurt anybody. Don't follow those on social media or just sensationalism where it's always negative. The biggest tiresome thing, I'm speaking for myself, people don't learn the truth. They just hear something and they just run with it. And it doesn't have to be accurate and it doesn't have to be truthful. And it's beyond tiresome.
So, with that said, have police been, giving out resources? Like, this is a place where you can go. This
the police
is a place
always
where
have. I can't say enough good things about the Wausau Police Department, its command staff, and our officers. They are and have been always very caring. They're not out there hassling people or harassing them. But if we have issues with somebody in a parking garage that's misbehaving, doing something improper, you got to ask them to leave. Now there's an avenue, okay, do I really think we're out there ticketing people? No, we realize these folks can't pay for it. And that's something else going out there that, it's a dumb idea. Okay, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but the way it's been presented in one or two media sources or on social media is not correct. It is something that is needed to be addressed for some time, and it will be. And again, I've always been known as a unifier and a collaborative person. And that's what we're going to be doing with our nonprofits. Folks have known about this as a possibility for some time, and now that it could be coming, it is finally being addressed. My thing is, we're not out there hurting anybody. It's not to kick somebody when they're already down. We're not like that. It's to try to get some resources for people that need some help. The problem is getting worse. And I want to help somebody. I want to make sure that somebody that wants their help or wants help is able to get it. And I think that's why the city council has brought this possible ordinance forward for discussion. There's a possibility. I think there might be some things that might need to be worked out. I might even want to try to suggest that maybe we table it. It's just a little too early, but it has been something that has been worked upon for some time. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Anything else that you'd like to add then before we let you go today?
Stay warm. Thomas Street and First Avenue, they will be done, folks. The cold weather, it's early. And it's the roads themselves are basically done, but there's some things we got to get done as far as painting stripes and stuff like that, and due to the recent cold snap. And I've teased about this before, but honestly, folks, I don't control the weather. The good news is those projects will be done and will be done soon. It's just that they're going to be delayed a little bit because of the weather and the cold and things that we need to get done. But again, these are projects that have needed to be done for years, and they've finally been addressed, and very soon they will be opening up in a proper way, and I think most people will be happy and satisfied with the results. Stay warm.
Absolutely. We always appreciate the time, and we'll chat again next month.
Thank you.